Hey, welcome to my channel Ruby Crochet Tejido. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this beautiful original design. I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're going to need to make it. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and click on the little bell. That way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my videos in Spanish and English. If you're receiving a Spanish video and you want to see the video in English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel. Then you will find the English version in there. Also, you can send me a message and I can send you the link. And at the end of each video, I leave a playlist with all my English tutorials. For this design, this is the material I'm gonna use. This is from a huge ball of yarn that I bought in Cuba. This one. I already used a little bit for the last design. It's very thin. And I use 3 strands to create this ball. You can have 2 strands, but I use 3. It's like a blend of cotton and polyester because it's really strong. And I have here 58 grams, and I have another one with 60. I don't know if I'm gonna use all of it, but I have both. You're gonna need your crochet hook, 3mm, tapestry needle and scissor, and other needle and thread to sew the applications. If you're gonna use applications, I bought this one in AliExpress. If you don't have access to AliExpress, you can go to a local material where you buy your yarn or your fabric and stuff. They sell fabric, and you can buy applications or lace and cut a piece to sew in your piece. If you are a sewer and you know how to do application, you can do your own, but I'm gonna use this one in my piece. So let's start with a beautiful design. Well, now you can see why we need the application, because it's very see-through with this yarn. And what I'm gonna do, I already created one of these, I had to do the other one. Is I'm gonna sew this around here, that way you don't see what you don't supposed to see, and that will cover that part, and I'm gonna look amazing. We're gonna start in here with 45 chains plus 3 to turn or work around. This piece is exactly the same as this one, this part of our piece of this cantilever top. If you don't see in this tutorial, I'm gonna leave the link. You're gonna see an eye, you click on the eye and it will bring you there. It's absolutely gorgeous and very easy to do. So I decided to do the same cup for this one. So that will be 45 plus 3 to turn your work around, and that's 48 chains. And you're gonna work for 6 rows before you start doing the decrease. So I'm gonna do a slip knot. And if you want to do this smaller, you can do it. You just have to have odd number plus 3 to turn your work around. So I have 45 plus 3 for mine. And if you want to bigger, the same. You have to have odd numbers. I will meet you here when I have my 48. Here I have my 45, and before I do the other 3, I wanted to show you a trick. That way you don't have to count 5 chains in the way back. You place your nail here or your finger, leaving 2 chain outside, and then you do your 3, 1, 2, and 3. And since I had to do a first double crochet and the 5th chain, I do the yarn over and I do it in this one, and the closest to the finger. That will be in chain number 5, and that way I don't have to count. So I have my double crochet in the 5th chain. Now you're going to do a double crochet on top of each double crochet until the end of the chain. And you'll have with a chain 3, 45 double crochet. You can do this design with 100% mercerized cotton. Something that I forgot to mention that you're gonna need is a marker. If you don't have a marker that you can, you know, put like this, you can use a safety pin. Now we're gonna work on the second row, and what I did for this one, since this yarn or thread is very fine, I did a chain 1, single crochet, chain 2 to begin the round or the row. I was working in the round in the last project, and now it's the round in my mind in the last row. So you're gonna chain 1. I finished my first row. Now for the second one, and for every single one, we're gonna start with the chain 1, single crochet, chain 2, and that will count as the first double crochet. That way you don't get too much space in between the first and second stitch in the border. So this is very fine. So you're gonna chain 1. You're going to turn your work around, and on top of the first double crochet you're going to do a single crochet and chain 2. Like that you're going to start every single row until it's time to do the decrease. Yarn over, and you're going to do a double crochet on top of each double crochet. When you get to the last one, on top of the third chain, you're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, turn your work around, do a single crochet in the first double crochet, chain 2, and then again double crochet on top of each double crochet. You're going to work for 6 rows. Once you have your 6th row, I will meet you here to start with the decrease. I finished this part, and I'm going to give you the measurement. That way you can guide yourself by the measurement of this. This measure 9 inches, give or take, by 2.5. That is in centimeter. 22.5 centimeter by 6 centimeters for the width. So that way you can guide yourself with this size. Now we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn or work around. We're going to start with the decreases. You're going to do the single crochet on top of the first double crochet, and you're only going to chain 1, and that will be the first decrease. Now you're going to count. That's just to turn your work around. You're going to count 1, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22, and in number 23 you're going to place your marker. That's the center stitch, that's the odd stitch, and you'll have 22 on the other side. So now we're going to start with our first row of decrease, and we're going to do decrease in all the rows, at the beginning, at the end, and in the center. So that stitch, in the next row you don't want to count that stitch because that's going to be the decrease. That's why it's shorter. So you're going to do a double crochet. So in the next row you're going to finish on top of that double crochet. So you're going to do a double crochet on top of each double crochet until stitch number 21, and you're going to leave number 22 in here. And the decrease that we're going to do is you're going to decrease until you have 3 stitches left that you're going to do the tie for the top. I work my 21 stitches. Now I'm going to remove the marker. So we're going to do 22 and double crochet that you don't want to finish, yarn over, 23 and double crochet that you don't want to finish, and 24, or the first one at the other 22 that you don't want to finish. You have 4 loops. You're going to slip through those 4 loops, and top of here you're going to place the marker. That way you know that's the center stitch. Yarn over, and you're going to do a double crochet on top of each double crochet until the last 2 that you're going to do them together. And that's how you're going to do your decreases. Now at the end you're going to do this double crochet that you don't gonna finish, and the next one on top of the 3rd chain, and you have 3 loops. You're going to close those 3 loops and you finish the decrease. You want to chain 1, turn your work around, single crochet, chain 1, double crochet on top of each double crochet, until 2 stitches before the marker, because you're gonna do the stitch before the marker, the one with the marker, and the next one together. So now we're gonna do these 3 together in the center, and we're gonna continue with the double crochet on top of each double crochet until these last 2 that you're gonna do them together, leaving this one out. So like that, you're going to continue with the decrease, decreasing at the beginning, decreasing in the center, decreasing at the end of each row until you have 3 stitches like this. You see here I have these 2 together, I have 1, and these 2 together I have 3, and then I did a strap. So you're going to work for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 rows, and number 18 you will have only 3 stitches, and then from then on you will do the strap that I'm going to show you after I finish the other one. So you work until row 17 and I'll meet you here. Here I have my 17 rows. Now we're going to do this one that I did 3 double crochet that I did together in the top, and then I did 43 of these. Okay, so if you count this one and these ones, it's 44 in total. So you're gonna do 1, 2, and 3 chain, turn your work around, a double crochet here that you don't gonna finish, yarn over, and this one here another double crochet. You have 3 loops, you're gonna close those 3 loops. Now you're gonna chain 1, 2, and 3, yarn over, you're gonna go inside of those 3 loops like this sideways, and you're gonna pass it through. You're gonna do a double crochet that you don't gonna finish, yarn over, again you're gonna go through those 3 loops, pass your yarn through, another double crochet. You see you have 3 loops, and you're gonna close those 3 loops again, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over, go inside of those 3 loops like this, and pass it through, a double crochet that you don't gonna finish, yarn over, pass it through those 3 loops again, and do the next double crochet. You have again your 3 loops, you're gonna close them, and like that you're gonna continue until you have the desired length. Like I say, for me was 43 of these plus the first 3 together, that was 44 of 43 and 18 row 4 on the piece, whatever you want to count this one as the first row of this or the last row of this. So you're going to do exactly the same, 2 of them, and once you have the 2 of them done, I will meet you here to continue. I'm going to give you a sneak peek what I'm going to look like. You see they are see-through, so that's why we're going to use this. I'm going to sew these in here around that way or so, and I still have to do 1 row in here to attach these 2 together, so that's perfect for the extra leaf. And around here the same, like so. And look at this, this is going to be spectacular. This is going to be amazing. Now I'm going to do a slip knot, and I have the right side facing up, so the tails are to the right both. So I'm going to come here, and the bottom part of this double crochet where you have 1 strand from the chain. Well, in this case I have 3 strands because my yarn is 3 strands, and I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over, and I'm going to lose those tails as I go. My double crochet on each space of the double crochet, and since I have 45 double crochet on each side, I'm gonna end up with 90 double crochet. So when you go here on the last one, you will do a yarn over and come directly to this one and do your double crochet and continue double crochet on top of each double crochet until the last space, that is a chain space there, you want to do your last double crochet. After I finished that row, I did one more row of double crochet because I only have one like a chain space in between, and I want to have these nice and secure. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work in here in the side, and I decided that I will, for the strap of the back, I will work in here and I will start decrease, 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 and then I will do a long strap to tie in the back and the other side, and I will do something here at the side and here, that way this is not open like that. And then after I will do a border, and then I will sew the applique, and by doing those two rows you'll see that now the applique fit perfectly, that I don't have to cut that leaf from there. So it's exactly the size that I need. So we want to work on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 row until here. And I decided I don't gonna do decrease in every single row, because if I decrease in every single row it will be too quick, the decrease. I will decrease every other row. So one row with decrease, one without, one with decrease, and one without. I'm gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna do a double crochet in the center of this double crochet, and a double crochet in here. A double crochet in the center of this stitch, and another one in here. And like that I'm gonna continue doing a double crochet row until I get to number 7 to this border. So I'm gonna do like 4 rows without decrease, and then like number 5 I will do a decrease, I will chain 2, and I will do a double crochet in the next double crochet, and then I will do the rest of the double crochet, and the last 2 I will do together like so. I decided to do the decrease a little bit different and no a lot of decrease. If you want, since it's just a little bit of stitches, you can do a long strip and tie with that. I decided I only wanted to do the decrease in the top and just a few. And the way they're gonna do it, I'm gonna do two together. I'm gonna start the stitch in row 5, and instead to go all the way to the last one, I'm gonna work into the last double crochet, and when I skip the last one, that will give me the decrease. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, turn my work around, and a double crochet on top of each double crochet until you leave the chain 3 at the end without working. Like I said, you can do the decrease all the way, or just a few decrease, or you don't have to do decrease. It's up to you how you want to do this. Once you finish this side, you do a slip knot and attach your yarn to the other side, and do exactly the same as you did in here. And if you do decrease, make sure that you know in which row you decrease. That way you do the same thing in the other side. And after that we will do some border work on the front, and then sew the applique, and we're done. So we have the last stitch in here, the last double crochet, and you see the chain space, it will stay out. You will chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, turn your work around, and after, when we do a little bit a border, you're gonna see the difference in here. So work on this side, work on the other one, and the length is up to you, the length that you want to give. Remember, this is for tying in the back, so it had to be a little bit long. So I'll meet you here when I'm done mine. And depend, if you're going to do a knot, you will work a little bit less, but if you want to do a bow, you have to do this longer. I did the decrease in row 5, and then now in 10, and like that I'm going to go slowly. What I'm doing for the strap is decreasing until I have 9 stitches, and from there I will continue with those 9 stitches until I have in total 54 rows. And in number 55 I will do all those 9 stitches without working, and I will gather them in the top and close them to make the end at the strip round like this. So this one is row 54 and 55 all together. Well, I decided that I don't want to do a border because this yarn is so the way it is the stitch is so open that you can see through. If I start doing a border, it will separate the last stitch in here, and then you're gonna see a little gap, and like this it look perfect. I like the way it look. So I decided that for here, what I'm gonna do, I have these 2 acrylic beads. These are from the dollar store, and they are perfect match to the color of my applications that I'm gonna sew them here, one here, one there, and that will be perfect because that will close a little bit the gap in between here. It will be perfect. And then when I sew this in here with my needle and thread, I have to move it around in order to fit this leaf, like so here. Just move the leaf around, that will fit, and the other one on the other side. It will be absolutely gorgeous. It will be perfect. If you don't have, like I mentioned, one of these applications, you can do something with a crochet, a flower or something, and put it in the center. That way it's no see-through. And that part of the front, and this is gonna look amazing. Look at that color combination, it's perfect. And if you guys have lining for clothes, like a skin tone or white, you can sew it underneath all the way in the border, and you don't have to do the applications. So since these go in this shape like that, if I sew this one here, this one will be a little more separate on each side. And then I found these clear beads that I have here, that I'm gonna put one on each side of this one, and then probably two on each side of the next one, 2 or 3, depends. I don't want to see the white thread. If you don't have this type of bead, I have tons of beads because, you know, I like to do this type of work. Sometimes I like to sew beads to my work or do some of this stuff, and I have tons of beads. I bought a huge pack of these at the dollar store. I put in this container, but I used tons of these already. So you can, if you don't have, you know, this type, you can put any of the beads that you have, clear or color, it's up to you, or with the same thread that you're working, you can work here. You will start here with the yarn, chain 1 or 2, and do a single crochet in the center, chain 1 or 2, single crochet, go up, and then chain 1, a double crochet, chain 1, a double crochet in the center, and so on. You can do here whatever you want. I'm gonna do the beads for mine. I just wanted to mention that, and here it's up to you what you want to do. I decided to use only one a little bit on each side, because when I try with two, here I started to open too much, and I don't want this to be too open. Now what I'm gonna do is with pins, I'm gonna pin this down, and I'm gonna sew them in place with a needle and thread. Pin it such a way that they all fits like this. I'm just gonna pin it just right there. That's perfect, perfect, perfect. So with the needle and thread that match the color around the same color, I will sew this part, and with green I will sew on the green leaf, and inside the big flowers or the flowers I will do a few stitches, that way they don't pucker up, and then I will do the same on the other side and I will show you the end result. I pinned this one in place. I even count how many stitches I have here and in this side, that way this one is exactly the same, and it's in here. I'm trying to sew they are almost exactly the same, don't have to be perfect. And I have these two thread to do the sewing. And if you have a sewing machine that you do embroidery, you can do it. If you have practice, you can do that. But I have my sewing machine do the zigzag, but I don't want to take the chance to wreck the design, so I'm gonna do it by hand. Like that, I'm gonna continue sewing, and I'm gonna sew each flower separate. I'm gonna finish with this red one first, and inside I will do a few stitches, and then I will pass to another one, and then the other one, the other one, the other one, and then after I do the leaves, I want to secure them well before I pass to the next one. And I like to do separate, that way I make sure that that flower is nice and secure. And here in the border, if you sew it like that, this don't gonna lift or anything. It will be nice and secure because you're sewing all the borders and the centers. Well, not a lot, just a few stitches here and there. So I will do both applique, and I will show you the end result. So I will have to tweak this around because I had to cut the rest of the leaf in here because I already done this side, and then when I try it on, it was making a dent when I tried it on, dividing the piece, and then this went in. So I didn't like the way it looked, and then I decided I'm gonna remove those leaf. I was going to remove this one as well, but then I said I'm gonna try like this to see the way it look. So it's from here that I'm gonna cut this one, the lighter ones, to see how it look. If I don't like the way this one look in here when I try it on, I will cut this off and then maybe put this one here, you know, like in there. So take it around. Or if you want to reuse, if you have one of these, you can put it here in the front or so. That don't make any difference. But I just wanted to show you the change that I have to do in order to continue with this. I finished sewing the two applique or motifs, and I found that when I tried on that this was a little bit loose under my breast. So I decided to do an I-cord and pass it through here and do a tie in the front, and at the end I did the same that I did here. I put these beads at the end of the cord. That way when I put it on, I do a little bit of the tie in the front as well and in the back, and these will fit really nice in the front. It will give you a little bit of gather in the front. It's really nice. And what I did for this one, I did an I-cord. So I have this left over from the last project, and this one is the one I'm using for this one. That's the ball that I use. And you have two options to do the I-cord. You can do it with 2 strands, and I already have one here. Let me measure first. I already did both. And I measure. "26 inches, 66 centimeters. I did 2. And what I did a knot, and I left the tail long enough here to secure to your piece, and at the other end I left a tail long enough to put the beads. Okay, so if you have 2 strands or 2 different ball of yarn, what you do, you grab 1 strand each and you do a knot leaving the tail, slip knot, and you come here. This one this way, and you open them up. This was exactly the same as the I-cord that I did in the last design. I wrap this one, this in this side, I wrap in the hook, and then the other one I pass it through those 2 loops. You wrap this one and you pass the other one through those 2 loops, wrap and pass like so. And that will give you a really nice I-cord. So that's one of the options that you have, and you will do the desired length. Remember, you have to do 2 exactly the same. The other one is you do slip knot, leaving again the tail, and you're gonna do a chain the length that you want. If you like, you can do it just with the chain like that, but I don't like the way it look unfinished. So what I do, and sometimes I do this way, is I do the chain long enough, and then I go back through the second chain from the hook, and I start doing slip stitches. 1 slip stitch on each chain space, and that will give you a really nice I-cord. So it's up to you what you want to do. And then what I did for this, it was really difficult to pass the 6th strand because each ball have 3 strands. It was really difficult to pass it through my sewing needle, but I did it. And what I did, I passed it first through this bead, through this one, and then through the other one, and then I put this one sideways and I brought it back inside and pass it through, and then I secure the ends inside. I fit it through the stitches, and with the other tail I secure it in here, and that's it. And that's what you're gonna do with 2 I-cords. Something that I wanted to mention is if you do the I-cord doing the chain and coming back with a slip stitch it, in one end you're gonna have the strands and the other end you don't gonna have any. So the side that you have the strands left over, you will use to do the beads, and the other round portion you will pass it through, and then with needle and thread you will secure it here, and that's it. Well, this is the leftover yarn from that little ball of yarn, and I'm gonna wind it up and save it for another project. And in my next tutorial, I'm gonna be showing you how to do the lower part, like a little skirt, like a bikini cover up, to do the set. The back will look like this. Now I'm gonna turn around my mannequin and I will show you the front. Well, this is the end result, and I absolutely love this design, and I look amazing, amazing, and with the tie in the front. My mannequin already have a bottom piece on, and it will look like this if you have one on. And I'm going to be making a cover up for the lower part in my next tutorial. So I hope you guys like it and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. And if you make this beautiful design and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Crochet Tejido, or my Instagram, Ruby Crochet Tejido. Please share my video with friends and family and in groups, and don't forget the thumbs up and a comment. That way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.